Hey, what's up everybody? It's TheHyphenate here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to use the time-lapse mode on the iFootage Shark Slider Nano. Now, if this is your first time using the slider, then you want to make sure to watch my other video on this channel that shows you the initial setup process and how to get everything ready for use. In this video, I'm going to assume that you already know how to do that, and we're going to go straight into the time-lapse mode. Now, you're going to want to make sure that your camera is set to a photo mode, and then you're also going to want to make sure that you have the actual shutter cable needed to control your specific camera. So on the iFootage website, or even on Amazon or B&H, you can search for it. They sell them individually or in a pack, or if you bought the iFootage Shark Slider Nano bundle, it comes with all the cables. So I have the bundle and I have the Sony cable here for my A7S III. Now on the back of the upper carriage is a little port for the shutter cable. We're gonna go ahead and connect that shutter cable there, and then we're gonna take the micro USB part to my camera. And then once we're connected, that's all set. Now, personally, I like to actually have this cable kind of run over my camera so it doesn't actually get caught up here on the slider. Now, it's very important that you first choose your camera's white balance, ISO, f-stop, shutter speed, focus if you're gonna do autofocus or manual focus, and also choose whether you're shooting in RAW or JPEG or RAW plus JPEG. Now, once you have your camera's settings all set up, before you go into the time-lapse mode, you do have to select your point A and point B. And just like using the quick start mode that I've done a video on before, we have to go into that mode in order to select your point A and point B. So if you want to actually just go into it quickly without clicking on quick start, you can actually just click on the power and the FM button at the same time, really quickly, boom. And now you have point A and point B flashing. So let's just say we want to move it to here. This is going to be point A, select the A. And then now we know we want this to be point B. And then now we can just press origin here on the quick start. We don't have to run the quick start actual mode here. Once those things are set up and you are in a photo mode on your camera, then we can go into time lapse. Now here we have interval, output time, frames per second, A and B, loop, origin, etc. Let's start off with the top one, interval. Interval is how much time it takes between each photos taken. So if you have a 1 second shutter speed, when the camera starts taking the picture, it's gonna take 1 second to take that photo. Then you're gonna have a 5 second interval before it takes the next photo. Again, you can change the interval to be whatever you want. Now, when you go into interval mode, the most you can do is 999 seconds in between each shot, which translates to just a little over 16.5 minutes. Now, by default, most cameras can only shoot at a maximum of a 30-second shutter speed. But if you know you want to do a longer exposure photo, you're actually going to want to set your camera to bulb mode and then also select bulb mode here on the actual slider. And then this will here allow you to do way longer exposure. So here you could actually do a 999 second exposure, which translates to 16.5 minutes or so for a single photo to be taken. Now that's a pretty long time. It's going to gather a lot of light. Now again, only use bulb mode if you are doing a single photo that's being taken over the course of more than 30 seconds. If you're not, then make sure that bulb is off on your camera and on the slider, and choose your shutter speed manually. Now, when I do a lot of night time lapses and I want to show a lot of motion in cars, like those light streaks, then I actually end up choosing more of a 5 to 10 second shutter speed. So for now, we're gonna actually just go down to 5 seconds of buffer for the interval. So a 5 second interval. Now for the output time, now this is the actual time that is gonna be the final result of your video. So in order to know your output time, you also have to know what frames per second you are going to be editing your video in. So here you have FPS for frames per second. We're gonna click on that. Now, personally, I like to have everything I do in 24 frames per second. It's the most cinematic look. So a lot of times when I'm doing video, I shoot in 24 frames per second. But here you can choose whatever you prefer. So if you wanna have a video that's in 25 frames per second or 30 or 50 or 60, etc., you choose what you're going to be editing in. Again, I do 24, so we're gonna have 24 selected. Now, when we go to output time, the output time again is the output of the final time on that frames per second timeline. So if I choose 1 second for the output time on a 24 frames per second timeline, that means it's going to take 24 photos from point A to point B. That's going to take up 1 second of time when I edit the video, having each photo be 1 frame long. So actually, I really like that they have output time here. So this will actually make sure that it breaks up your movement into the proper amount of photos to make sure that you get the desired time that you want from your movement. So if I know I want to have my camera start here and end here, and I know that I want it to be a 15-second video when it's all done, I just go ahead and put 15 seconds. And then now when I start it, it's going to take 15 times 24 amount of photos. Because in a time lapse, one photo is gonna translate into one frame, and there are 24 frames per second, meaning 24 photos in 1 second. So with this here, it's gonna calculate to 360 photos being taken. So that makes it really awesome because you can just press start and it goes. Now here at the bottom left corner, we have the A and B. If we click on that button, now it's gonna start from point B and then work its way to point A. If you don't want that, then click it again, and then now it's at point A going to point B. Now, if you wanted to continuously loop, you can click on the loop button, and then now that's going to apply to your output time of 15 seconds going back and forth. All right, so for the sake of this video, I'm gonna actually make it a little quicker. So we're gonna change the interval to 2 seconds, and then we're gonna change the output time to, let's say we just want a 5-second finalized video, which again, it's gonna be 5 times 24. So now with this calculation, it's gonna take 120 photos from point A to point B, resulting in a finalized 5-second time lapse. Now I'm gonna have my shutter speed at 1/50th of a second, and then we're gonna go click on origin to make sure that it moves to point A. And then we're gonna click on start, and then now it's gonna go. So now it's telling me here, everything, frame 1, frame 2, etc. It's telling me an actual counter of each photo that's being taken, and it has filming time. It actually tells you how long it's gonna take for this entire process with the interval, with the photos being taken, etc. It's gonna take 4 minutes to finish this entire process. We're getting 120 photos in the final result, and right now, currently, we are at frame 13 out of 120. It's really awesome. This thing pretty much tells you everything you need. There's nothing that you need to do with a calculator, a time-lapse calculator, or anything like that. This thing is so intuitive, so awesome to use, and the actual footage is super smooth. Again, you need to make sure that you have the specific shutter cable for your camera brand. So Canon, Nikon, etc. They're all gonna have different cables. Make sure that you order the proper cable. Again, if you bought the bundle package, it's gonna come with all the cables that you need. So here I have the Sony one that came with my bundle package. And as you can hear, it's taking its photos. Now, if I just wanted to stop it, I could just press exit and it's just gonna stop there. And if you are interested in getting the iFootage Shark Slider Nano, I do have a link in the description where you can purchase it from either B&H Photo or Amazon. It doesn't change the price that you get it at, but it does help this channel. Please make sure to drop a like on this video, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and please make sure to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming soon. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.